Black Box Radio, we have Kisha Collins. Say hi to the people.
Hello.
So you was with us before, but we had a technological issue, so we had to bring you back. Great. So the greater thing is we know, let's say what you do. What do you do professionally? Then we're going to talk about it from there on.
I work at Mead Heights Elementary School. In the cafeteria, I serve food for like 400 elementary kids.
400. You're the food service manager, right?
Yes.
Okay. And which school you said? Mead Elementary.
Mead Heights Elementary.
Mead Heights Elementary. Okay. So all this time during COVID, per our last conversation, you've been serving what type of meals to these young people before what you're doing now? What was type of meals were you serving?
Curbside meals, breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Okay, so it was a breakfast, lunch, and dinner deal that they would get before 12 in the day. They would get all of that.
From 12 to 12:30.
From 12 to 12:30. Okay. And so that was going all the time, but they were actually in school. They still were getting the meals on the curbside from you guys.
Yes.
To do that, you would have to get up like earlier. How did you guys prepare and get it out to the curb by a certain time? How'd you do it?
Well, we prepare bags with items in it. Mm-hmm. And then we prepare hot food with the essential things that we needed to serve them with. And then we would hand out the cold food and then the hot food separately. So
the whole staff that would normally be in the cafeteria doing school was cooking, or you just had certain people?
I had 3 other people in my school that helped prepare lunches, the breakfast, lunch, and dinner items.
Okay, so it was 4 people every day that would come in.
Yes.
And what time would you guys get there?
About 8 o'clock.
And by what time were the children supposed to be there to pick up their 12 o'clock?
Yeah, the parents will come pick them up, and the kids will have to be in the car. Mm-hmm. And we will have everything already ready outside. We would be prepared. We had gloves, masks. We were provided with all the essential things that we needed to use to provide the food to hand out to the kids.
Okay, and that would all be curbside. So no one had to get out their car. They just pull up to you guys and y'all just give them the bag.
Yes.
Oh, so yes. I know the parents was loving that.
The parents they were so nice, and they were so grateful, and they all the parents was really nice. All the kids would speak and say hi, and it was so nice. Yes,
I believe it because it's something to say when you have someone helping you, because homeschooling and what parents are doing now is a whole new game for them.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. And to know they can get some food, they don't have to prepare. They can still go, it helps. It's such a help, in a grand scheme of what they've been going through dealing with COVID-19. So it was a lot. I'm sure it was a lot.
Yes, it was a lot. And the teachers help as well, because during the times of 12 to 12:30, the kids took breaks so the parents could come out to the school and purchase their lunch, breakfast, lunch, and dinner at that time.
Okay, so it was a break time for the students so they can come out and get the food. Okay, and that helps because right then we going to get your lunch right now. Don't say a word.
Exactly.
Go get it right now. So that makes sense. So I'm sure that was such a help to any parent. So now school is particularly out. We're in June. So what's going on now with the program?
At this point, we are doing summer meals. Which we usually do Monday through Thursday. But being that everything is going on with the COVID, we're providing them also with a Friday meal on Thursday as well. So even though we're out on Friday, they still are provided with Friday's meal.
Amazing. So on Thursday, the pickup is double.
Yes, on Thursday, your pickup is double.
And so is Mead Heights Baltimore City, or is that Anne Arundel County?
No, that is Fort Meade.
That's Fort Meade. That's Anne Arundel County, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, Anne Arundel, yeah.
Yeah, it's Anne Arundel County. Wow, okay. Because I was like, Baltimore City ain't giving you no Friday meal. I knew there wasn't no Baltimore City school, because that's not going to happen. I'm just wondering, because if you're not there on Thursday, you're not getting no double for Friday. No, sir. So I was wondering, like, where's this school?
Yes,
Okay, well,
Anne
that's
Arundel.
amazing. That's Anne Arundel County. So you
Yes.
guys, so they're having still a week's worth of food through the summer,
Exactly.
and you're the propensity is to do this all summer.
Yes.
Wow, because this is new. During summer, everything's shut
This is
down.
extremely new. This is new to me. It is new
Mm.
to the parents. It's new, for everybody.
So,
So,
what do you think was the precipice for? Why did you think that they did this because of COVID? I mean, what would make them do the summer meals? That's a great
well,
thing.
we always have did the summer meals.
Oh, you always did them. Okay, got it.
Yeah, but we didn't have 61 sites open in Anne Arundel County for all summer school. But at this point, we have all the schools open and we provide summer meals.
Also, all 61 sites is providing this service.
Yes. So as of that's the change. Like all schools are providing summer meals for the parents and the kids.
Oh, that makes sense. Wow. That's a lot. Well, somebody got some funding, but the kids are getting. I mean, that's a blessing. I mean, it really is a blessing.
It is, and the parents are very appreciative. I mean, they
bet they
come
are.
with smiles, and it's just a polite thing to do, and to be smiling when you come through there and you greet all the kids, and it's just really nice.
It is. I'm sure. And even like you working in a cafeteria, I'm sure you guys, because when I remember when I was going to school, you have a lot of, you always begging the cafeteria later to give you some more, or give you some more fries, or give me another sandwich.
Yes.
We used to beg for that food. So you guys have to miss the kids, that interaction, because I really knew my cafeteria lady. I knew her.
And I have kids that come through that go to my school. And they're like, "Hi, Miss Kisha." I was like, "Hi." So everybody is waving, everybody is still happy, but it's really different for the kids. It's really different.
It's really different,
and it's a big change for them, and the parents, and the teachers, and me.
Let's keep on. And your family. And your friends. I mean, because that's how we all feel. But I think the biggest thing in this whole equation is kids they have the mindset that they can be, they're very flexible in their thought process. They haven't been through life in a long time. So whatever's thrown at them, they kind of adjust. And they'll be all right.
Will adjust, yes.
They will adjust, but it's kind of hard for us to be able to do and we got to do all the work. We got to do the teaching, the cooking, the cleaning, and so it's kind of hard, the adjustment to now. I know families say schools are a lifeline. They didn't know the teachers in the school was so important until these times.
Yes.
I'm sure every family's like, I got to get my teacher, my cafeteria lady, everybody got to get it.
Because sometimes they don't feel like the cafeteria people actually work and provide. But yes, we're important. We make sure your kids get breakfast and lunch. So
absolutely. And I'm sure now, you know what, when things like this happen, you're appreciative for the small things.
Yes.
And so what you thought and you took for granted, you taking the 2 looks at now. You're like, wait a minute, that cafeteria lady is my best friend. I'm coming up here and get me some breakfast, lunch, and dinner every day.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at things differently. Like before, you would walk, it's not a big deal. But now, trust me, if I had a place that I can go pick up me some breakfast, lunch, and dinner, they'll see me every day giggling.
Every day. I said
every day.
Yes. If I had kids that age and I was, back then as a young parent, everything that was going on at this point, I would be at the school every day, lunch, 12 o'clock.
12. When I'm telling you, that would be a lifeline to my family.
It would be in my normal schedule. I would add it in my normal schedule. Parents do come out. Like, I have regulars. They come every day. They smiling every day. They're greeting me every day. I'm greeting them. It's like, you get to know the parent as well when they come through there. So it's just an enlightenment of your day. You still get to meet the parents, because most of the time the cafeteria workers don't get to meet the parents. So at this point, it's exciting that I get to meet the parents with the child, put the face to the mom. It's so exciting. for them to come through there. So it's enlightening to me.
I think a lot of ways is the way that this is going on, it's building relationship.
It is.
Where you have relationships outside of the teacher and see that the school has many mechanisms.
Yes.
The person that cleans the school is just as important as the person who runs the damn school.
Right.
So you don't see it until things break down, and you need these folks. You need now you want the meals. You want that cafeteria lady to smile and get up every morning to be up there to have that food prepared for you and your children, because you're trying to navigate life, COVID, homeschool, all of these things that go along with it. And now you got somebody cooking your meals. You're like, yes, sir.
And the kids be in the back, oh, it's pizza today. Yay. And then, some of the kids are like, it's meatballs and rice. And it's just it's a joyful feeling to know that you're, being a help to society.
It is. And a lot of times when we work, sometimes we don't know how effectual our work is. But when you get to that curve every day and they smiling and saying, hey, Miss Kisha, you are doing something for people's lives.
Yes.
And it has to feel good. It has to.
It does. It really does.
It really does. And so I'm just like, I just think that when we are talking about this conversation, when it comes to COVID and what we're going through as a nation, as the world, the relationships have to change. Now we have to really look at the people who are around us and how important they are. And the smallest things is more important than these big things that we've been trying to get. We want a new house, we want everything, but now you can't do nothing but sit still.
Yeah, it's the small things. It's the interaction of the small things, and appreciate life itself, because you never know what's going to happen in life.
Absolutely.
It's just that it's concerning to a lot of people.
And life makes you smell the roses a lot of times. A lot of times, you think you got it together and you think you know everything, then something comes down, you're like, ooh.
Yeah.
And I think COVID-19 is that type of moment for us, like, ooh, we're looking at everything. We're looking at our relationships. We're looking at how we go to church.
It has its pros and cons. Anything has its pros and cons to a situation. But, when you put it together, you got to look at the positive things about how, families is interacting more, and everybody is together and everybody's looking out for one another. I mean, that's what it's about. One nation under God, one nation.
And that is so true, because, you're like you're essential worker. You're an essential worker.
Yes.
And I work in the medical field. So in all actuality, we're essential workers too. And I see, and the medical field is very white. Let's be clear. But the relationship is kind of different now, because we're working when everyone else is home. Right. So you kind of have to have more of a relationship with the people you work with, because now we got to watch this COVID thing that's around us. We got sick people coming to us.
Yes.
We have to be more in relation than we ever were.
Have been.
We have been. We used to just do our own little work in our own little silos, our own little corners, but we still work in the same building. But now it's more like a chain. Like, listen, you okay? Because if you don't okay and you sneeze on me, I ain't gonna be okay.
Yes, and then we're walking around with masks on, trying to make sure like everybody's okay. Like,
Yes.
So it's gonna be kind of difficult when the kids do come back to school. Us having to wear masks, and we don't know if they're going to be able to wear a mask, or they coming in with masks, or if something happens and you want to give a child a hug, are you sure that's
I'm telling you, it's a lot of uncertainty.
It's so uncertain about how it's going to go on next year, and how are you going to provide for these kids in school,
And the blessing, I think, we hope, if we can, if whatever happens politically and we get a leader, because we need someone who really attacks this thing.
Yes.
And we can kind of get it out of our environment and contain it and eradicate it. Then the children now have a chance to be children again and come to school and do it. We hope we're in that space by the time school starts again. But if Trumpy is home, we're going to have some issues. So it all depends on leadership and a lot of things. And biology sometimes, because you look at Ebola, while they were preparing the vaccine, it just dissipated. So it was a COVID that would have eradicated, that would have came in and done a lot of damage, but it
Yes.
just went away. Once they got a vaccine, they didn't even have to use it because it just went away. So we just, sometimes that happens where, the biology or God just says, okay, you guys have learned enough. So maybe we'll be in that space where we learn something. But you know what had to come out? This racism. See, when we talked last time, we wasn't tearing up the country.
We was.
Real talk. Yes. And they was killing us then, but we wasn't like where we are now, or the white
Not
kids.
Not at all. Right.
Or the white kids weren't protesting. So now we in a whole space since we last talked.
Yes.
And now we got some other initiatives out in the community. So what do you think about all of this foolishness we got going on because they just don't like the black? What you think about that?
I mean, it's been going on for a long time. And it's, just to think about all the people that have died from this. And just to think, like, we as black people, let's not let them die in vain. It's just like, George Floyd, let's not let him die in vain. Like, it's like a wake-up call, and it took so many people to die for us to come together as one. Like God said, one nation under God. Like, we have to come together as one person, because if, regardless whether what race you are, you still bleed red.
All day.
All day. If I cut you,
you gonna bleed.
You gonna still bleed red. Like, it's just a color. Like, it shouldn't be to the point where, they're killing us. You know what I mean? And it stems back from way back when we weren't even thought about. We weren't even born.
Yep.
So with generations and generations, as it grows, we have to learn how to treat people the way we want to be treated, regardless of the color of your skin.
Absolutely. And I think that we're at a very we're a transitory moment in the world, but definitely in the U.S., whereas the world is seeing your dirty drawers. Let's talk about that. And then we as black people know this has been going on. But then white people are now looking like, wow, like they weren't living in this country and this wasn't going on.
Yes.
And that is the biggest issue that I do see, is that the majority population is so uninformed. They're so privileged, and they're so in a place where they never had these interactions. And because it did not affect them, it wasn't happening. And that has been the mantra that we've been living under. But now, as you saw they saw the kill on the video, but that's not the first time the kill has been on the video.
Right.
This is the first time that is the reaction to the kill.
Yes.
Is that we're going to protest and do something about racism, because they've seen
it's good protest. It's no need to be out here vandalizing stuff that we need. Like, if you're going to protest for positive stuff. Protest positively.
Let me be the devil's advocate, because you brought it up. I didn't. I didn't bring it up. So let me ask you a question, because I want us to be clear about what protest is. And there's no book on protest.
Right.
I hear people say, well, you just have to protest this way. But wait a minute, damn it. There's no book. There's no training session on what protest is. Protest is an actual emotional movement of usually some type of oppression, suppression, or some type of hurt. That's why people protest. So when you are protesting, to tell people who are actually hurt to think rationally about what of their hurt, and then not hurt you or not hurt your stuff, and they're hurt. It's a real slippery slope. And we have to be careful. I'm not saying that people should be violent. I don't believe in violence. I don't believe in looting. But I don't believe any of this shit is our stuff. Let's be clear. Now, you can set your CVS up in our neighborhood, and you can set Walmart in the neighborhood. Let me talk about it. You want to talk? Let's talk. You got Target in our neighborhood and all of this stuff these Asians and their eateries, and they ain't even eateries, they carry outs, dirty carry outs in our neighborhoods. And you say, don't tear those up because that's stuff we need, but it's not our stuff. And we got to be clear about what your stuff is. Your stuff isn't your neighborhood, because if they want your neighborhood, they gentrify it. Right. If they don't want you to be there, then they raise the taxes and price you out. So you don't have stuff in America. What you have is a place where you reside until they're ready for you to not reside there. So in all actuality, we got to change the way we think and start making people's stuff our stuff. That ain't our stuff.
Because to be honest with you, we have to support our Black businesses
all day.
Support, the different stuff that we got going on.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? It's just that simple. You know
it's
what
just
I mean?
that simple. You're right.
Everything everywhere else, like the Walmarts and the Chinese place, that's not our stuff. But don't think that we can't cook that stuff.
That's right.
We can. It just takes us to work together and build a bond. But we still got to look at like this generation to 2020. Like, where did we go wrong at? As far as our young women and our young men, where did we go wrong as parents?
Yep. As parents, but our parents went wrong in a lot of ways too, because we have not dealt with unresolved trauma. Right. And I don't particularly think anything is wrong with Black people. We've been wrong. Let's be clear, because we sometimes internalize what was done to us and say it's us. But we've been wrong. And within that wrong, you develop unresolved trauma. And when you don't deal with that trauma, you see these type of behaviors where people need drugs, they need alcohol, they need some people are sex addicts, some people are food addicts. These are all traumatized movements from not dealing with the unresolved trauma from the white supremacy apparatus. Let me break it down. It's that WSA. And so we tend to conceptualize and embrace things that really it's not us. It's what's been put upon us. So I just want us to be clear that, listen, this shit out here ain't our stuff. I don't curse on Mike, but you done put some stuff in me. because in our neighborhoods, none of this is our stuff. And
it's not.
Let me tell you something. These same Asians that's in our neighborhood, they have not fed any Black people during this COVID-19. I've been in the community. Right. I've seen the only people feeding Black people is Black people. It's not the Koreans. It's not the Vietnams that do your nails. Listen, I'm calling you all out. It's not Walmart. It's none of them. We got to be careful about.
It makes me want to go back to start back doing my food drive.
You better.
Because I was doing food drives before all this started back. All this came about. And I was doing food drives with my church, Love United. And it's just because something that I love to do.
Well, you know what? We have to be creative, and we have to understand that no one will save us. And we have to be careful. They threw us $1,200, and I see us standing in line to get into the Korean spot. We standing in line to get our nails done. I saw another line at downtown locker room. All of this stuff for the outside. But when are we going to stand in line to fix the inside?
Right.
That's what I want to. Can you stand in line in the therapist's office? Stand in line with therapy.
Right.
Stand in line at Narcotics Anonymous. Stand your ass in line for Alcohol Anonymous. Listen, I don't want to curse on Mike, but you done made me curse, Kisha Collins.
Sorry.
You done made me curse because I'm emotional about Black folks.
Yes, I'm emotional myself, but
we got to do better.
We got to do better.
Yes, sir. Definitely. We have to do better. Definitely, we are being attacked. Listen. I'm not taking it off of the white supremacy apparatus. These white folks and their foolishness. Yes, there is an actual attack against the Black, but the Black also has to do some step. We got to step it up.
Yes, because we gave them that power. We need to take our power back. We gave them power. So when we're able to take our power back and interact on one another as Black people, then we will succeed.
Because the number one problem with white supremacy is relationship and the lack of. It works off of you not having relationships with yourself, your family, your people, and other people. So with those lack of relationships, because if you don't speak to something and you don't know anything about it, you can easily kill it. Right. But if you've had a conversation, if you've had some intimate actualization with another human, it's very hard to go after it, shoot it, and malign it and maliciously discard it. And so we got to find a way to start relationship, and that's within the Black community and outside, because we need everybody. It's not one. We need white people. We need Spanish people. We all need to get in relationship.
Yes.
And if we do that, we will see a better world, because when you have relationship with different people, these perspectives that we've perpetuated, they dissipate. Because then you have that's why the young people can be friendly with each other, because they all go to school with each other. Right. They all hang with each other. They don't have these issues that old folks have. They're not as infected because they have relationship. And those things like white supremacy, it's not a big deal to them because they're dealing with the person.
Right.
And we got to learn this. And we learn sometimes from our fruit, which is our children. The old dirty root learn from the fruit.
Yes, I do. I learn stuff from my kids all the time.
All day. All day. And that's what we need to do. We just got to do a lot of changing. And so to have this conversation with you, I love it, because it's an emotional response that we need to have as Black people. Yes, we don't want our kids. We don't want to be hunted. We don't want you hunting our children. Right. We don't want to be hurt. But another thing is we can't hurt each other neither. And so we got to make some change.
Why are we hurting each other?
We cannot hurt it. But that's trauma. It's trauma, Mama. You hurt yourself. That's the insidiousness of when something has been put upon you. You become your own worst enemy.
Yes.
So it's so unfortunate, but that's where we are. And so
I'm still going to say it's still one nation under God.
I love it.
Still going to say that.
Say it again. Say it one more time.
One nation under God.
All right. Amen. Love, I heard it. Love united. Amen.
One nation. It's one nation. That's all God really wants. It's just us to come together as one nation.
Absolutely. And we have just almost, that's like an LWT, but we're going to let you hit one. Last will and testament. I want you to leave a jewel with the people. It's been incredible what you've been talking to us about. Leave something great with the people.
Well, this is what I'm going to leave with the people. I just feel like if we just come together as people and love each other and expect things from each other, like we will have, treat other people the way you want to be treated.
Mm-hmm.
That's the most important thing.
Yep.
Treat people the way you want to be treated. I don't know, people want to be loved and hugged and, loved on all the time. So if we don't treat each other fairly, then somebody else is not going to treat us fairly either. So we got to learn to love one another.
Yeah. Awesome.
At a distance.
That's right. Social distance.
At a distance.
I love it. Yep. Awesome. That is so true, G.
One nation under God.
There we go.
They're going to say that.
Say it, sis.
Kisha, we really appreciate you joining us once again. I also appreciate all the important work that you're doing, the essential work of feeding families and bringing people together, providing an essential service. We really appreciate having you as a part of these conversations.
Thank you. I really enjoyed myself today.
Absolutely. For our listeners, if you've enjoyed this conversation, please subscribe to Black Box Radio. You can find us at www.blakboxxradio.com. You can also find Black Box Radio on Facebook and Instagram at Black Box Radio. Find us on Twitter at Box Black. That's BOXXBLAK. And share this conversation with your friends and family. Send it in an email, send it in a text so that everyone can hear these important voices.
All right, we are in that Rona Report. We had the amazing Kisha Collins bringing it. We appreciate you, sis. We really appreciate what you brought today.
You're welcome.
All right, so this is the Rona Report. It is 6/24/20. This is Black Box Radio. We're out. Peace.